This is my Mayflash Wiimote to NES or Super NES controller adapter. And it's been something that I've had for about 6 months now, and it's really useful if you like playing retro games on your Wii. And it's really simple to use. I'll show you what it's all about here. So you can use this with your Wii or your Wii U, since they both use Wiimotes. And it's built to plug right into the bottom of the Wiimote controller. So it just goes in like any other, like your nunchuck or your classic controller or anything like that. And then on the other side is just where you plug in your retro controller. So you could plug in Super Nintendo controller or Super Famicom, since they're basically the same thing. And literally that's all it is, and it's ready to play. You can do button mapping on it, which I don't think I had to do for the Super Nintendo. I think I did switch the A and B on the NES. To hook up the NES controller, is a different. You see, there's two ports. And it's kind of funny because this would fit a Sega controller, but it won't work with the Sega controller. So you attach that. This also comes with the adapter, and then you plug the controller into there. And then your NES controller is ready to go. So this is going to allow you to use your original controllers on any game that has classic controller functionality. So you could use it on your virtual console games. You could use it on any Wii games that work with that. And what I use it for mostly is with my modded Wii, I use it to play emulated games. So I'll show you what that looks like. The Wii is a pretty great console for playing emulation, so I have quite a few set up here. So I'll just pop into the Nintendo. Of course, you could use this on any one you wanted, or if you just map the buttons correctly. So we'll try Super Mario Brothers here, just to show you that there's no real lag or anything, because that's a game everyone's super familiar with, and anyone who's played it enough would notice right away if there's any kind of issues with lag in the controller. So there's no kind of issue that I've ever noticed. I'm not an expert on something like beating Mike Tyson on Punch-Out or anything where you need super precision controlling, but everything I've played, I've never experienced any issue with it. And it's the same thing for the Super Nintendo controller. And it should work with anything that plugs into the original NES port. So if you have something like the NES Advantage, you can still play with that too. So that's kind of fun. You can even use it for something crazy like playing Sonic the Hedgehog with a Super Nintendo controller. You know, stuff that would have blown our minds as kids. Games like Klonoa that work with the classic controller and don't require an analog stick, you could also use it with, which is kind of fun. Gives it an old school feel. In a lot of ways, it's more comfortable than holding a Wiimote. So it's a really cool thing to pick up. I'd recommend it. You should be able to get it under $20. I think I got it for about $13 on Amazon, roughly actually probably like 8 months ago. But I don't imagine the price has changed too much. And Like I was showing you, you could experiment with it in different ways, try it on different games. For instance, I tried it with Mario Kart Wii, and it worked for everything but steering, so that's a little bit of a problem if you want to do well at that game. But you can use it for anything. You could, if that's your preferred controller, then try it out on any game and see which ones work for you. Or also with the NES or anything that plugs into them. So if there's a third party controller that you like using with your NES, you can try that as well.